to get started, shall we?
Yeah.
So I'll just provide a quick introduction, an overview of the webinar today, and then I'll pass over to Farhan. But yeah, just wanted to say a quick good afternoon to everybody and warm welcome to the webinar. My name's Craig Hankin. I am a Senior Business Development Manager at Nextech Learning. I'm based down in Melbourne, Victoria, so kind of opposite to fortunes that Philip was just mentioning there, but we're on the road out now, and yeah, wonderful to have everybody join this Azure Security webinar this afternoon, and delighted to have Farhan join us and present on how to maintain your security posture in the cloud. Farhan is one of Australia's leading Microsoft Azure gurus, who will be sharing with us today what the best security practices are in the cloud. And you'll walk away with some vital information and some tricks about Microsoft Azure Security Suite. As a authorized Microsoft Learning partner, Nextech does provide training, upskilling, certification across all Microsoft Azure products. And yeah, I hope everybody finds the session of value and gets to meet some interesting people and get some interesting perspectives from the session today. So thanks for joining, and I'll pass over to you, Farhan. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Craig. Thank you. Very kind words over there. So yeah, I'll just start sharing my screen. So this is Farhan, guys. I will be the session lead for this time, handling the power over there. And yeah, you guys are quite experienced, as I see over there. One of them is a group manager, one of them is a solution architect. So you might already be aware of, what's the, cyber security stress level when we mentioned that word over there. Directly increasing, stress levels for managers and for group managers or solution architects or anyone in IT industry. We have those things over there. Microsoft has introduced a lot of work and invested billions of dollars into the cloud space, cloud arena. They're protecting their own security, their own data centers they've got to protect. So they're sharing that same knowledge with their customers. Definitely it's an advantage for them as well. They've created those algorithms, and why not share those knowledge and algorithms with their partners, so that we can use the same and be secure over there. And it's of their advantage as well, that they can have a look at it, and they can know that who's secure and who's using their technology are secure. Otherwise, because it escalates over there, and then with lateral movement, they get control of their data centers as well. If once a customer gets any issue, then it's an issue for Microsoft, definitely, and they have to follow up those SLAs as well. So that's why Microsoft is protecting all its technology. So getting into it, we've got a limited time period. So rather than wasting some important over there time with let's go into the presentation right away. So current situation, where in that situation, everybody's mentioned that just now, have been there for about 2 years in Victoria. Luckily we're getting back on Friday on track. Craig, sharing that I'm in Victoria as well, so sharing that wrath over there for a couple of years now. But yeah, so it has been all remote work. Some of us are very happy working remotely, because mainly in Sydney and Melbourne, we've got to travel a lot more than 2 hours over there, wasted in a day to travel to the city or anywhere else. So it's been a good time for us, working online. But then on the other hand, a lot of blockades, a lot of other things that we faced. But coming back to the security posture, it has increased the amount of risk that we face of online cyber attacks that we have. So that's what we're going to talk about. Mostly cloud computing is something that we move online. We've used this before as well. What cloud computing is, basically, when we talk about cloud computing, it's like you have your internet, you use your websites over there. Websites have been online for a long time. We've been using them for a long time. So similarly, we put all our other workloads as well on the cloud, or as well with the internet to be specific over there. So they're just using this cloud buzzword, but it's just that everything is on the internet. Then we have those bring your own devices. Everybody's bringing their own devices within their framework. We have the laptops. You want to bring your tablets. You want to bring your mobile phones. You want to use your email. You want to use your data, or then we have to worry about information protection, information retention. All those applications, SaaS applications that you use across all your devices, mobile application management, mobile device management. The risk is increasing, guys. Risk is increasing. And then Microsoft says we don't trust anyone. We have a zero trust policy. Those who are logging in as well, we don't trust them. We just want to just have that zero trust policy. Anybody who is signing in with the right credentials as well, we will do multi-factor authentication. We will give them other capabilities like privileged identity management. So we're going to talk about all those things, just in types access, just enough access. And then the attack vectors that we have all across, phishing emails that we've been getting all along, spear phishing, DNS, man-in-the-middle attacks. So multiple things. Microsoft has created that suite, which is the Microsoft Defender suite. Previously, we had, one portal, which we called the Security and the Compliance Center, but then they separated the portals, which they called Security Center and the Compliance Center separately. In the Security Center, we used to manage the security posture. In the Compliance Center, we used to manage our information, the data that we have, protect that data, retention capabilities, and similarly now, and the DLP policies, data loss prevention policies as well. We're not going to discuss that compliance part today. We're going to talk about the Security Center, which has now turned into Microsoft Defender suite, right? So Microsoft Defender for Office 365, multiple products there that we have, 4 to be exact. That's what we're going to talk about over here, right? So within the current situation that we are in, a lot of phishing emails that you get, a lot of Microsoft 365 data that we have, emails are one of the main thing, when an organization plans to communicate with each other, emails are one of the most things, important things that we have. We have with identity, we plan to use the MFA, multi-factor authentication, which is there, more than one way of authenticating yourself. So Microsoft has implemented that, but then again, when we're talking about emails, we get those phishing emails. You're getting emails like you'll be getting millions of dollars somewhere in Nigeria. There is a king, or somewhere in Southeast Asia. You're getting, and nowadays we're getting those calls as well from tax agents that police is standing right outside your door and somebody's going to come in and take that money away from you, or take you to the jail. And then a lot of people get scared. A lot of people get trapped in those situations, which we call some are greedy, some are get afraid. So different tactics have been used all across the board to get you under those traps. So Microsoft has introduced this Microsoft Defender for Office 365. That is part of the Defender suite. With that, we have safe attachments and safe links. So whatever attachments that you're receiving, they will be taken to a sandbox environment, checked over there with any changes that they're making to your registry or anything. By default, Microsoft has a solution which checks all the emails by default with Exchange Online Plan 1 and Plan 2. When you get E3 licensing or E5 licensing, you have those capabilities already with you, right? These are additional capabilities. If you want to purchase Microsoft Defender for 365, then you get this Microsoft Defender for Office 365 as well. So just the name, naming might be a bit difficult for you to understand. Microsoft Defender for 365 and Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Office 365 is the one which are there for emails, safe attachments and safe links. So by default, Microsoft protects you against man-in-the-middle attacks, all those different kinds of email. Your emails are scanned, your emails are, going through the basic stuff, that Hotmail does, that Gmail does, all those other providers that they do. But then there is an advanced level if you want to increase your level of security, safe attachment, sandbox environment, all those registry events. Microsoft uses all its experience And if, Microsoft has this advantage that if any one of the billion users or more than billion users that uses Microsoft, if they face an issue, if one of them faces the issue, rest of the billion gets saved, so that's the advantage. So because Microsoft learns and learns, and they've created machine learning algorithms at the back end to find out if there is one issue that, one of the user has faced this issue, then they protect other billions of users, so that's the main advantage over there. Then we have safe links as well. Safe links, if there is a link in that email, you have created a policy beforehand that, you're not allowed to open these particular links that you've mentioned in your policy. And then if that link opens a file or downloads a file onto your PC, that file will again be taken to that same sandbox environment, checked over there for any, curious things or anything that it's trying to manipulate in your environment. So, we have this Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Then BYO, we talked about a lot of people wanting to bring in their own devices in the organization. We've got to manage those devices. Remote work is happening nowadays. People have been sent out laptops from the organization if it's organization managed. If it's not organization managed, a lot of devices, you want to use your email, you want to use your critical data, credit card numbers, you're opening all that different types of data that you have. Your employees' data, finance managers would be opening your salary information, your account details, for which you get those phishing emails to get your account details. They're taking that account details and they're using that on that devices. So their devices are very important, and you're working remotely, and that's what created that risk as well. So Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, another solution which helps you manage all your devices, either they're on-prem, either they're on the cloud, anywhere you are using any of the devices, they help you protect those devices. So mobile device management is covered. Previously, we had this Intune product, which we had with SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager, which was on-prem. System Center Configuration Manager was left on offline, on-prem solution, but Intune moved on towards the cloud, and now Microsoft has introduced it, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which covers every part of the endpoint. Either you're using Windows 10 devices, either you're using iPhones, iTablets, or iPads that we have, or Android, or any other devices that you have. So you will be able to manage. There are differences definitely that you can manage. Some of the things Microsoft is still learning. Microsoft is still using us as our beta testers, but then definitely, we have those particular products that helps us protect from one of major capabilities that there, and Microsoft is learning and teaching us as well. There are a lot of training material that you have on this. A lot of courses that we run on this, MS 500. Now they've introduced the new security SC courses as well. So the branch of courses that we have, and Nextech is doing all those courses definitely. Shadow IT is one of the main problems. Anybody knows what shadow IT is?
I don't.
I'll have a go. It's when you have IT functions being performed outside of your, I suppose, your control of your people with that digital knowledge, depending on how you structure it within your business.
Definitely. So, a lot of people within our organization, without, IT knowing for it, like, for example, when you have Teams, right? Teams is a product that you can install on any PC without administrative permissions, right? And there are a lot of SaaS applications out there. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. What happens is when you have, when in your organization, in the financial, financial supervisor, or anyone within the finance team wants to convert this PDF file into Word, and you don't have any authorized software within your organization, what he does is, he sends this critical information, which has containing employee salary data or credit card numbers for customers. He uploads this file to a SaaS application online, which converts PDF to Word. It does the job, it sends you the file, but then that critical information has been shared with someone that we don't trust. You're getting the point, right? So that is shadow IT, people using applications which we don't know, which IT doesn't know, which is not being managed. So mobile application management is not there. Your critical data is being shared outside the organization or with applications that you don't know. or being used on applications which you don't know, or being accessed on applications which you don't know. So Microsoft Cloud App Security it's a cloud application security broker. You know, CAS, I don't know if you guys know about that particular product. So CAS, there are multiple different types of CAS, but Microsoft has this own product where we can discover what type of applications are being used within the organization. And then plus, you know, we have this, you know, capability. Microsoft has evaluated more than 80,000 apps within the SaaS framework, you know, that what is the score given to that app, and it's based on 4 criteria. The general criteria, where is the headquarters, what is the name, you know, have they got a legal domain that they use, and then what are the legal requirements, you know, certification, GDPR, are they following, you know, all these different compliance requirements. Then you have security requirements, ISO 27001. So Microsoft evaluates on all these criteria, these applications, gives you a score that, okay, this is the score that we think that it should have, but you can always change that score according to your own understanding, because you have a security experts team as well. Microsoft experts have given that particular score, but if you think that, okay, there should be a different score, you can give that particular score yourself as well. So it depends, you know, how you want to look at it, how you are giving that particular score. So you can give that particular score over there, and you can manage that. Okay, these are applications that will be, so from that particular cloud application security broker, which is Microsoft Cloud App Security, you can manage that what applications will be sanctioned within your organization, what applications will be unsanctioned within your organization, what people can use, what people cannot use within your organization, right? So you can manage it from there. Then, you know, the new control plane. Microsoft says identity is the new control plane. Right, we have 3 things within identity. The AAA battery, I call it. Right, Cisco says AAA, that we have authentication, letting the person into the system, authorization, right, what permissions does he have on the system, and then accounting, what is he doing on that particular system. So we need to manage all these different things. Azure AD is everything at the back end. All the cloud applications that Microsoft has, SaaS applications like Microsoft 365, we have Azure AD at the back end that is managing all these solutions for us, right? And then we have for permissions, role-based access controls, RBAC, right, for managing what roles will be doing that. So best practice for security is that creating those groups, right? When we apply that security, we create groups, and then it is said that, you know, you don't need to apply permissions to individuals, you apply permissions to those groups. So Microsoft has created groups of these permissions as well now, which are called roles. And all our trainings have moved on to role-based access control. You might have seen these certifications. So the SC certification, you are doing that. You're a security administrator, you're a security associate, you know, MS certification starting from MS 900, which is the fundamentals, AZ 900, which is the Azure fundamentals, and then the 100 trainings that you're the Azure administrator, you're the Microsoft 365 administrator, then you're the MS 200, which is Exchange administrator, MS 300, which is the SharePoint administrator, so on and so forth. Azure 200, which are the DevOps, Azure 300, which you are the solution architect for Azure. So, you know, Microsoft has created this role-based access control and then giving you these trainings as well, so that those users are meant for these particular roles. It makes it easier for the employer as well to understand where this user fits in, and it makes it for the employee like us, you know, easy as well, that whom to choose into which role to choose for ourselves. So Azure AD is one of the things, and it stops us from multiple different things. I talked about privileged identity management at the start as well. Premium P2 capability with Azure AD, which helps us, you know, like we, you know, when we are in holiday mode, Easter, Christmas time, Christmas is near, hopefully soon, still 2 months to go, holidays are coming soon. So, you know, what happens is we allow different users, those are not normally global administrators, one of them will be given control, right? But that person will be given control just in time and just enough so that he can do these simple things. Microsoft says, follow this all around the year. Those global administrators that we have, you need to follow that all around the year. Just enough access, just in time access. So only they will be able to access. They don't need that access. They will be just given access if they need it. And just enough access to do that particular thing. Like we say, best practice again, CEOs, CIOs, they don't need permission as a global administrator to manage anything. They're not the one who will be managing IT for us, right? They are at the top level, but they're not managing. So, most of the risk that we have within the organization is from insider risk, right? So we need to manage that risk as well. If you're a global administrator, you never know when your mind changes and when you go right berserk on the organization. So Microsoft Defender for Identity looks for those things. Microsoft has created machine learning algorithms over there to find out, if someone is doing something fishy, like for example, you've copied a large amount of data on your USB, you've just been issued a warning letter, you've just been, just submitted your resignation, just getting, so Microsoft connects your HR applications with their solutions. And then Microsoft has created these machine learning algorithms where we can find out if something is going different than usual, right? Or crossing our baselines. So yeah, I've taken almost a lot of time. Let's.
I might just stop you there for one moment,
Yes.
Farhan. I'll just put it out to the group, see if anyone has any questions, whether on Microsoft Defender or AD, Active Directory. If anyone has any questions for you so far.
Yeah, anything?
We're pretty quiet around the room. Anyone like to ask any questions? No, you're all good, mate. Keep going. You can always put your questions in the chat as well if you do have any questions.
Just the last slide, guys. Don't run away. Just the last slide. Over time, I know. But yeah, just the last slide talking about Azure Sentinel, one of the most important things, new products. Not very new, but yeah, most of you have been using it as well. You might have been using Splunk or any other tool that you have, So one of the first ones for cloud integration management, we have Microsoft follows that extended detection and respond capabilities that we need. So we need to detect the threats. That is one of the most important things, right? Find out where the bugs are, where someone is trying to do something fishy. That is detection. But then we need to respond as well. Otherwise we will need to have manually do those tasks where we've detected those things and where we need to respond to those things as well. Yes, Ayushman will talk about that. Just give me a few minutes on Azure Sentinel, then I'll talk about that as well. So Microsoft has created this Azure Sentinel tool, which is the SIEM as well as the SOAR. So SIEM is Security Integration Event Management. So from all across Microsoft 365, the products that we talked about, Microsoft Defender for 365, which is Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Microsoft Defender for Identity, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Cloud App Security, all these different products, especially in Azure as well, all your services, you get not just on the cloud, on-prem resources, Windows, Linux machines, you get all that data integrated into this Azure Sentinel. You can bring that data over here. You get those detection capabilities, you collect that data with machine learning algorithms. Analysis is done on that particular data, which is false positive, which is not false positive. A lot of false positives you will get at the start, but then you will start learning. Microsoft will start learning, and then you will be able to manage those. Then it also has security, orchestration, and automated response capabilities, SOAR, right? So you can orchestrate your activities, automation with logic apps, with webhooks. You might have heard about Power Automate, another product that we have with the Power Platform, where you can create rules. It is based on logic apps in Azure. Logic apps are basically creating that one-by-one, step-by-step automation rules from which you can manage all your Azure services, right? For example, if you have a metric that computer is, computer percentage or CPU percentage has increased, then you can reply back to that, CPU percentage that, okay, we can increase our, high availability or anything that we have over there. So Azure Sentinel, is completing the whole suite of details, detection and respond capabilities that we have. Right. So we're starting to get some questions. Craig, if you can manage who started first, what was the first question? So I think the first question was from Ayushman. I think the first question was.
That's right. I think so. Yes. How Casper is different from
MS conditional access security. Right. Exactly. Definitely, Ayushman, CAS is basically a security broker where we can, manage all the applications. but conditional access is more of an if then. If this happens, then do this. If this happens, then do this. Like, for example, if someone is using that particular application, or this application, so we can bring that cloud application security over here as well. So if that person is using that application, you can allow him access with certain conditions, right? Like, for example, you can ask him to change his password. You can ask him to use multi-factor authentication with conditional access. Or if he's trying to use this particular application, then he should be using a device which is registered, right? So a lot of people, like, for example, travel within the organization as well. So like, so with conditional access, we can stop all those things over there. That, okay, if that, and there are two more things within conditional access, which is the sign-in risk and user risk, right? So yeah, if you've done conditional access, so multiple things over there with conditional access, there comes, additional level of security within Azure AD. Cloud application security is with Microsoft 365, conditional access is with Azure AD, sort of, but they interrelate. You can use multiple different products together to protect that, provide that security over there. Hopefully, if I answered your question, Usman, all good?
Yes, thanks.
Perfect. Jonathan has a question. I noticed there are M365 security certifications regarding these. Do you recommend us to take the certs, and are they widely recognized? Definitely, Jonathan, load of certifications. And then, of course, these certifications are, which we call, helps you certify. You've done the training, you get that certificate from us, as Nextech, and being Microsoft Learning Solution partners, you get that certificate, you get that badge over there. But then again, certifying your skills, giving a test to find out, why did you do your graduation? You could have studied online Udemy and, just got that. You don't have that graduation. It doesn't say that you're graduated, but you've got those skills. You can show them that certificate. Is there a difference or not? Right. So when you show that certificate from Microsoft, it travels with you around the world. It travels with you around the world to, specify your skills. And whenever I'm doing a Microsoft certified course, I do enforce that you need to give that certification, and I help them in all different ways. That you have to give that particular certification, and I can help you with that. And definitely, we're doing those certification courses. Most of the people, and it helps your organization as well. Being an enterprise customer over there, being a Microsoft partner, it definitely helps your organization being a certified member of that organization. Because your expertise increase, your partnership value with Microsoft increases with those certifications. So that is the recognized part over there, Jonathan. Hopefully, I've answered your question. Raza has, Raza, if you want to have a chat, or if you want to just say it out.
Good afternoon. My question is, at the moment, I'm using a Trend Micro and Trend Worry-Free Business in our organization. And does Microsoft Security has that capability, or probably stronger security features for the email and other things, or still I need a third party like a Trend Micro to use on our emails or 365s?
No, definitely. As I said at the start as well, we have that Microsoft 365 capabilities. Basic capabilities are already there. With all the, you'll be taken through a funnel of security products, security checks that there are there with Exchange Online Plan 1 and Plan 2. Plus, if you have an E3 license, then you get Exchange Online Plan 1. If you have an E5 license, you get Exchange Online Plan 2 with further security levels. And then you can purchase that Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Right, which is a separate product that comes with Microsoft Defender, and you get further capabilities of safe attachments and safe links as well. And then you can compare. I haven't used that Trend software, but yeah, you can compare your security over there. Definitely, Microsoft has compared, has a full suite of security products.
And still, it comes as, for example, if it's a phishing or it's a junk mail, still it asks the admin to deliver, release it, or still block it, or block it from probably a specific domain, trust that domain emails, or block them. Is that right?
Definitely, you can create policies over there to trust domain, to accept all, and you can create those policies. And Microsoft has machine learning algorithms at the back end as well, which informs you that you should be creating these policies, that these domains are at risk, right? So it keeps you updated as well. There are threat trackers that Microsoft team is looking for, and Microsoft teams help you, being part of your security team. Microsoft team helps you and lets you know that, okay, these domains are dangerous. There are malicious emails, malicious links, malicious computers, malicious IP addresses that are trying to hack you or trying to come into your environment.
Thank you very much.